Oh shit, YouTube changed their requirements for live streaming on mobile. I just found out because you used to have to have 1,000 subscribers, and it was 500 subscribers, and wow, I'm amazed. I'm glad because I was about to give up on YouTube. Actually, I was about to totally give up on YouTube because some of the algorithm stuff is getting to be ridiculous. But hold on, let me go to my channel here and make sure. Yeah, it's actually working. Wow, wow. Hold on, I'm gonna have to turn the mute the volume. All right. So anyway, this is interesting. This is definitely going to be a benefit um, because I'm working on becoming a full time broadcaster. Actually, not working on it. I just moving from the procrastination phase and actually getting to the point where I can just start being consistent every day. But you know, I had good reason for not being full time with all the medical issues I've been going through this past uh, year and a half, almost 2 years now. Um, Literally been out of work for over a year with some serious health problems. But you know what? I'm not going to let that stop me. Got to get back to business and get to doing what I want to do uh, with my elderly life. Yes, I'm an elder. I realized recently that I'm a whole senior citizen now, and that's amazing to me because I never actually thought I would make it this far. But the best part of my life now is being a grandfather. Um, Even though I haven't seen my grandkids too much recently because I've been not feeling well. But you know what? Today I decided I'm just going to make myself get up and get out. Uh, Hell, they're back in school Monday. So I definitely want to spend some time with them this weekend before they're back in school. Very proud of those kids, man. They're growing up so fast. And but that's neither here nor there. Y'all are all familiar with your own kids and grandkid sagas. It's just an amazing thing for me personally uh, to even see myself as somebody's grandfather. That to me is just wild. But anyway, the Ken Jackson experience is in full effect. Uh, I'm still looking for some studio spaces. Rent is ridiculous. I think I might have to just go out and try to buy a damn building. Um, it's because it's going to take the same thing, financially, whether I buy or rent. So I uh, may as well just own the damn property if I can. So I don't know. I'm looking around still. I actually thought about relocating out of South Florida too, but I love the weather here. The weather here is so great, and I really uh, don't want to relocate. Um, but I may have to because industry here is non-existent. Uh, uh, Many of you may or may not be familiar with Florida, but Florida is a service state, a tourist state, and it's you know no exports. Used to be produce and fruit and things of that nature, but now with all that stuff coming, from the Caribbean and South America, it basically killed the industry here in Florida. And that's just what it is. Unfortunately, they claim it's cheaper to ship the shit from halfway around the world uh, than it is to get it right here in our own backyard. I don't understand that. That's capitalism. I've never been, a major capitalist myself. I have been very successful in business over the years, but money was never my motivation. So I've never been one to chase the bag, as they say. I just did what I love, and it worked out for me. And I was very fortunate for that, and I'm happy for that. But I'm focused on November. It's time to vote, y'all. And I know a lot of y'all probably just burnt out on the politics because it's crazy. Everything's crazy. The world is crazy. Um, and although I support the Democratic ticket, I'm not telling you one way or the other. I'm just saying participate in the system. Um, uh, One of my mottos is left wing, right wing, same bird. Uh, however, however, that right wing side right now is something wrong. That right wing is crippled. Bird ain't flying. Bird ain't flying too well at all. Um, I think the blue side is a little bit healthier. Uh, so that's all I'm gonna say on that. Um, but I will speak about these candidates uh, on the red side, on the right side. All right, Donald Trump and JD Vance, they're not the play. And I'm not gonna disrespect you if you're supporting them. Whatever, whoever you vote for, that's on you. I'm just saying, uh, make sure you're well informed. Uh, you always hear, about the fake news and the fake media and the media this and media that, and it's really crazy because it's always media people talking about the media, right? But if you got any damn common sense, you can sort through uh, all of that bullshit very easily. You can uh, fact check everything. It's not very hard at all to fact check what you're hearing and what you're seeing. Um, but listen, you can listen to a Donald Trump speech, and if you got any common damn sense, you can come to a pretty reasonable conclusion that he's an idiot, he's racist, he's dangerous, uh, and it's just sad. I noticed though most of the people that support him are like Midwest, and Southerners, people that aren't familiar with him. I grew up in New Jersey, New York area. I've known this guy all my life. Familiar with his properties, familiar with his business practices, uh, his failed businesses, uh, his his efforts to literally destroy whole towns uh, uh, in order to just make money. Um, so when I speak on him, it doesn't come from a place of, of media influence or anything like that. It comes from personal experience. Uh, my growing up, my dad was a plumbing and heating contractor, um, and he's had to deal with people like the Trump organization, for all the years he was in business, and so I'm very familiar with the practices of people like Donald Trump and Donald Trump himself. Um, uh, in my years in the entertainment industry, I've actually done some business with the Trump organization. Horrible experience. Horrible experience. I'm not going to go into detail about it. I'm just going to tell you it was a horrible experience. Um, and then now living here in South Florida, and near his golf courses, and we see all the nonsense that he's created here in the Palm Beach area and in the Miami area with his bullshit. Um, I don't know why they love him so much. Uh, he's not an eloquent speaker. He's not articulate at all. And for all you white folks out there that think it's bad, to call a black person articulate, no, it's not. That's bullshit. You know, um, uh, we have uh, very articulate individuals in the black community, and for anybody to think that's a diss, when somebody says that you're articulate, and you obviously have a problem too. But oh, thank you for the like, Vimto Bill. I hope I said that right. But hey, thank you for the like. If you think Trump is the one to lead America, in your opinion, that's fine. Like I said, I'm not hating anybody for who they support. See, here's the one thing about me. I I support the Democratic ticket strongly, and that's not because I feel like they've been so great, because they haven't always been great. Um, the Democratic Party, just like the Republican Party, has had a lot of missteps over the years. They've done a lot of things wrong. They're politicians on both sides. Like I said, right wing, left wing, same fucking bird. How many one winged birds have you ever seen fly? None. All right. So, but I'm just saying that for me personally, the Republican Party is not the Republican Party of old. Um, I've heard people, say, hey, it was the Republican Party that ended slavery. Yes, it was. It was the Republican Party that ended slavery. The party of Lincoln. This is not the party of Lincoln. Not the same party. And actually, in the 70s, the party agendas flip flopped with Richard Nixon. Richard Nixon is the one who started the downfall, or the reversal of the Republican Party agenda. And it's crazy. It's because um, at one time it was, uh, you know, the Republicans used to be very liberal, and the Democratic Party used to be very conservative. Those are facts. Do your research. Um, and then things changed in the 70s. Richard Nixon got caught trying to make himself a king. He should have been prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law, um, my opinion, you know. Um, but he got a pass. He got pardoned by Gerald Ford. When Gerald Ford took over after Nixon resigned, and guess what? The law supports that. That and see, that's the problem I'm having now, is because um, Donald Trump is a 34-time convicted felon now. And although there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents a convicted felon from running for president, it's a little ironic that a convicted felon can run for president, but a convicted felon can't vote for president. Does that make any goddamn sense to any of you out there? Be honest. Be honest. It doesn't make any sense. And for a lot of you out there that say, hey, these are politically motivated charges and trumped up charges, pun intended, um, I don't understand how you can come to that conclusion. The man committed the crimes. He's also convicted of being a sexual predator. And if that's what you support, then what's that say about you? What does that say about you? I think it was so offensive when Donald Trump was trying to promote these sneakers, the ugliest sneakers I've ever seen. And he specifically tried to promote them to black voters as if, we're some kind of sneaker loving monolithic uh, uh, group, who would literally come running to his doorstep because he has some sneakers on the market. Really? That was really offensive to me personally. It was. But hey, some people like that shit. And then the fact that he's trying to use his felony convictions as another uh, uh, way of promoting himself to the black community, thinking that black folks can relate because I've been convicted now by this two-tiered justice system. You're right that the justice system has been screwed up for centuries, the entire existence of this country. But it only becomes a problem now when this rich white man is on the receiving end of justice. Knock it off. Knock it off. Donald Trump committed the crime. He should be doing the time. Another thing that really gets me is this DOD memo that says they will not prosecute a sitting president. Why not? Since when does DOD make laws? They don't make laws. They're supposed to enforce the laws. But that's something I've never heard spoke about. In the past few years, it's always, well, the DOD put out this memo, and this was back in the 70s as well, that they would not prosecute a sitting president. What in in what in holy hell should prevent a sitting president from being prosecuted? If he commits crimes, he should be prosecuted. Well, somebody said to me once, well, it's because the president's position is so important, and we can't, if we disrupt uh, presidential work and presidential progress, some kind of bullshit. I go, wait a minute, that's what we have a vice president for. Because if something happens to the president and his ass has to be put out of office, or an accident or whatever, for whatever reason, the president needs to be removed, we have a vice president. And then the vice president is next in line. See, the government is set up and it's designed with continuity of power is baked in. If something were to happen to the president and then something happened to the vice president, next in line would be the Speaker of the House. That's how it's supposed to work. But our entire system has been screwed up for a long time. Congress has come in and they've changed so much and they've made all these different rules that it's basically made it impossible to govern now. Think about the Senate with this filibuster rule, okay? The founders designed the Senate to be a well-oiled machine. 100 senators, 2 from each state, okay? With the vice president being the president of the Senate and the tie-breaking vote in case there were any ties to be broken. But now they have this filibuster bullshit and this supermajority bullshit where you got to have 60 senators voting on certain issues before they can pass. That's not how it was designed. It was designed So that if we ever had an incidence where there was a 50-50 situation, then the vice president would be that tie breaking vote and legislation would be passed one way or the other. This current Congress has passed less than 1% of the legislation that's been set on their table since they've taken office. It's ridiculous. Nothing's getting done. They've spent more time on bullshit trying to impeach Joe Biden over stuff Joe Biden's son has done. The Biden crime family. Really? What about the Trump crime family? So come on, you'll have to be honest about what's happening. But this is a big problem in America. Nobody wants to take accountability. Nobody wants to take accountability for their misgivings. Donald Trump definitely doesn't want to take accountability for his misgivings, and uh, he's been a grifter all of his life. He's been scamming people all of my life. I don't hate the man, don't hate him at all, but he's not a good dude. He's a criminal. He really is, and he's gotten more passes than you can imagine. If my ass had been convicted of 34 felonies, I'd be locked up. I would have been locked up from day one. They would have escorted my ass out of the courtroom right to a prison cell awaiting sentencing. There wouldn't have been, well, you can remain free, on a, on appeal and. It wouldn't have been any of that. Convicted, straight to jail, Mr. Jackson. So let's knock it off, uh, you Republicans out there and conservatives talking about Donald Trump as being railroaded and it's a political uh, whole political thing going on with the man is a criminal and he should be in prison right now and he shouldn't be able to run for president. That part's my opinion. However, like I said, there's nothing in the Constitution that prevents him from running for president, even if he's locked up. Did you know that? But that's why our system is so screwed up because it's been manipulated, it's been changed, it's been refashioned to accommodate the powerful. Somebody like you or me would never have been able to get away with the things that Donald Trump and a lot of these Republican senators and congressmen have gotten away with. There's so much wrong, and we're going to talk about it. I'm going to get in depth on the Ken Jackson experience starting every Sunday night at 9 p.m. We'll be broadcasting live. Um, as I said, it's time for me to get consistent and actually work on uh, putting some good productions together. But we're going to be speaking in truth. And I invite you all to log on, join in. Let's have a conversation, um, a truthful conversation, no arguments. I'm not going to be arguing with anybody about anything because it's not about trying to argue and raise our voices and over talk and this that. We're going to have some meaningful, truthful, honest discussions. That's my goal. So join me Sunday nights, 9 p.m. right here, YouTube at Crazy Baby TV World. Um, Thank you, everybody. If you logged on and watched this, this wasn't scheduled or planned or anything like that. I just found out this morning that I could live stream mobilely on YouTube, which wasn't available before. But now that it is, it opens up a whole new world for me personally as far as broadcasting. So thanks again. This is the Ken Jackson Experience. Join me Sunday night, 9 p.m. And I'll see you then. Peace.